What does it mean to love someone who leaves you to face death alone? I asked myself this every night as the hospital machines beeped, their cold rhythm my only companion. My daughter, Clara, hadn't visited in months. Once, we were inseparable, her tiny hand in mine as we walked through autumn leaves, her laughter brighter than the sun. But time and choices carved a chasm between us. Now, at 78, with cancer gnawing at my bones, I lay in that sterile room, waiting for her. She never came. I built a fortune over decades, real estate, investments, a legacy I thought would bind us. Clara grew up with everything: private schools, vacations in Paris, a trust fund that could buy her dreams. But somewhere along the way, she changed. She married a man who saw dollar signs in my eyes, and her visits dwindled. When I was diagnosed, she sent a card. A card. Get well soon. It read, as if I had a cold. I kept it on the bedside table, a cruel reminder of her absence. The nurses were kind, but their pity stung. One evening, a young volunteer, Mia, slipped into my room with a worn copy of The Old Man and the Sea. She read to me, her voice soft but steady, filling the silence Clara left behind. Mia wasn't family, but she cared. One night, she asked about Clara. I told her the truth. My daughter was waiting for me to die. Mia's eyes widened, then softened. "You deserve better," she whispered. Those words lit a spark in me, a defiance I thought I'd lost. That's when the twist came, not from Clara, but from within. I wasn't just a dying man. I was a man with choices. I called my lawyer, a gruff old friend named Harold, and told him to sell everything. The mansion, the cars, the stocks, every asset I'd spent a lifetime building. Harold hesitated, but I was resolute. "Liquidate it all," I said. "Donate the money to the children's hospital." He thought I was mad, but he followed through. By the time Clara would come sniffing for her inheritance, there'd be nothing left but a note. I wrote it in my own trembling hand. "Clara, you chose wealth over love. I chose peace over regret. Find your own way." I left it with Mia, who promised to deliver it when the time came. Then, with the little strength I had, I vanished. A private nurse, a small cabin in the mountains, and a new name, John Everman, a nobody. I didn't need much: a bed, a window to watch the stars, and the quiet to face my end on my terms. Months later, Mia found me. She'd tracked me down, not for money, but because she cared. She brought news. Clara had stormed into the lawyer's office, expecting millions, only to find my note and an empty estate. She'd raged, then cried, then disappeared herself, chasing whatever fleeting pleasures her husband's charm could buy. Mia sat with me, reading Hemingway again, her voice a balm. She was the daughter I'd lost in Clara, not by blood but by heart. As the cancer tightened its grip, I felt no bitterness. I'd outlived Clara's greed, not in years but in purpose. The hospital would save countless children with my donation, lives that mattered more than a daughter who'd forgotten me. My final days were spent listening to the wind, Mia's voice, and the beating of my own stubborn heart. I wasn't alone anymore, not truly. What does it mean to love? It's not in the wealth you leave behind or the blood you share. It's in the choices you make when the world turns its back. I chose to let go, to give, to live my last days free. And in that freedom, I found peace Clara would never understand.